Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Friday Night Sports. We are going to take a look at District 8 4A. We looked early at Ellenda against Vanderbilt Catholic. Big win by Vanderbilt. Next week, Vanderbilt will be taking on Morgan City here in Houma. They took on Helen Cox tonight in Morgan City. Let's take a look at that game because Morgan City on a 2-game win streak. This is the very beginning of this game as obviously Morgan City fired up to get this game going. And if you did not go outside tonight, it's cold. And it got colder as the night went on. And I say cold for what we've been having. Opening kickoff to Morgan City High School, taken in by number 2. Corey Navarro. He gets it out in fairly decent territory for the Tigers. Let's see who we had on the run right there. That looks like number 25, Tremaine Francois. He's been the workhorse for those guys in the backfield, and I know you got to prepare for certain guys, and I'm sure he's a guy that you're gonna have to work on. Obviously, you were getting prepared this week for Ellenda.
Sure, but we've always worked a week ahead of time with our films too.
So you know a little bit about Morgan City.
Morgan City runs the wing tee, and then they'll get out and they'll get in the shotgun, and they'll run the bubble out and the bubble in screens, as we call it. And defensively, they play more with 3-5, but they do play a 50 defense. If you come out, we come out with 2 tights.
Interestingly enough, I've not seen them live, but every time I see tapes, I see guys at the skill position who look like they're really capable.
Their wing backs in wing tee are excellent football players. They very I want to say simple, and they don't make many mistakes. They again, I think if there is a weakness in Morgan City, again, it's in the trenches.
Helen Cox, in your time around and stuff, obviously the guys at Vanderbilt who were there the last couple of years probably can tell you an earful about Helen Cox and their athletes. But this year, Helen Cox struggling. As a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, their first win of the season.
Yeah, but the thing of it is, people don't realize, look at their pre-district.
No joke.
Their pre-district was brutal.
Yes. They didn't shy away from it.
And believe you me, we wanted them to keep losing because we don't want that last game of the season to mean nothing to them. We hope that they're in a situation where it's not a win-lose situation with us and them to get in the playoffs. But our kids are looking forward to playing Morgan City next week first, and then we'll see what happens. But Helen Cox is the last game of the season.
There you go. Helen Cox 34, Morgan City 14. So unfortunately for the Tigers, their first loss in district. Score at the bottom, Chalmette 35, Bonneville nothing. So no power points for Central Lafourche. They were hoping that Bonneville could come up with a win there. We have one more highlight reel to show you. Now this game happened last night, and a team that was on the upswing at the beginning of the year hit a 2-game losing skid, but then got it back together last week against Vermilion Catholic. Central Catholic out of Morgan City took on Delcom last night. Delcom, a pretty good team. These two teams are going to be fighting it out in 7-1A along with Gaydon. I think Gaydon has a pretty good team out there too. Let's get out to Morgan City if we can cue that thing up, Jason, and take a look at this. Again, this was last night. Central Catholic taking on Delcom. Number 12 for Delcom, Dylan Bork hands off to Drew Landry for about a 6-yard gain. Delcom obviously with the white helmets. Bork again hands off to Tyler Hotard for a nice run of about 20 yards. Pretty big looking kid right there. Bork again on a handoff to Jory Renard, and it doesn't look good for Central Catholic early on as he goes in for the touchdown. The extra point attempted by Delcom is good. I got to tell you, been around high school football for a while. That's the first time I see Delcom. I wouldn't even know what the uniforms look like or anything, but we don't see them too much in our area. Well, that's a big young man right there. Again on the carry, number 4, Joey Renard. A nice run into Central Catholic territory. So early on, it's all Delcom as they score again right here. But as they attempt the extra point, it is blocked by Central Catholic. A good push up the middle. And here's a guy who, really good quarterback in our area, number 10, Andrew Tompley for Central Catholic. He is going to hand the ball off to Dane Dago. He picks up about 5 yards right there. Here's Tompley. Nice pass right there to Dontrell Brown. He takes it up the middle and splits the defenders for a touchdown. So they were down 13-0, but they fight all the way back. They win it 27-21. That is a huge win for them. And that district score at the bottom, West Jeff 36, Grace King 0. When you guys were at West St. John, and I know I'm going back to West St. John again, teams like Delcom and stuff, you always kind of had a peripheral vision, just kind of seeing what everybody else was doing in 1A?
Delcom was a powerhouse at one time. We played Delcom one year when they were ranked #1 in the state in our backyard in the quarterfinals, and we were blessed to beat them, and we were successful. And in fact, the head coach at that time was Mike Delcom, who I'm still very good friends with today.
Is that right? Mm-hmm. Probably owns a town, huh?
Well, Delcom, I tell you what, the little community of Delcom, if you don't know, the whole little town comes support the.
They rally around.
Oh, yes, sir.
Turn out the lights when the game's on that night, huh?
They something else to watch, these people.
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to look at the standings of all of our local area districts, look at the entire scoreboard, and talk about next week's action. We'll do that after this timeout.